Hello, hope you had a good Thanksgiving week. We have reached the point in the semester where all of the presentations have been completed. You can now throw a mini party. You have run the gauntlet of what is required in this class, from an informational speech to a persuasive speech, to a group communication process and the interview process. And so we have done all those things, and it only remains left to do a final. And because you're taking this online, then it has to be proctored and those sorts of things. And so that'll happen in about a week and a half. We will take the next 10 days or so, whatever that is, just to get ready for the final. We will be looking at a couple of chapters in the textbook, and I'll be going over that here in the assignment, but not to worry. The final will be straightforward, and I'll prepare you for it here over the last two modules. There'll be a module today and one more at the beginning of next week as we get ready for the final. So let me step back. I think if you took my class face-to-face, you would find me to be a gracious and kind professor. At least I hope you would. I'm not, if you looked at my Rate My Professor, I'm probably not the hardest professor, and I'm not the strictest professor, and I hope more than anything else that I'm out for the good of my students, and I want you to succeed, and I want you specifically to gain the skills that will give you confidence as a communicator. It's not so important to me that you can regurgitate back to me answers on a written test, although I do have to give this final to you. It's required by the university, so that's not optional for me. But that's not where I tend to spend my time. Our relationship is a little bit different than my face-to-face classes, obviously, because we don't have this, right? You're listening, watching a video. I put up 6 or 8 of them during the course of a semester. Most of online, the majority of online education sort of boils down to a Montessori sort of approach, where I give opportunity for you to gain information, and then you work your way through that. I hopefully offer feedback. So this is a little bit different of an environment. And yet, the core of who I am, I still want to come through. This is the first time that I've taught this class in the 16-week format. If you've looked at your grades, obviously I'm behind grading on the major assignments. I'm going to try and catch that up here this week. So that's on me, not on you. No worries there. We'll get that taken care of. But several questions have come up. For instance, on the recent interview segment, I asked you to get with people to film that in front of them. Several questions came in regarding, well, is this people in the class? That's a question I never even would have thought of. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know. Typically, you're not going to know the other people in an online class. I mean, maybe. And so there are things that I can't even think of, right, that I want to tweak and do better and grow and improve. I also want to communicate, and I know that online education is different, and it is predicated on the fact that each week you've got to stay up with things. But several of you are as behind or further behind as I have been in this class, grading-wise, probably further. And I do try and work with my students, and I would like to figure out a way to communicate that to my online students. And I recognize that it's a different system of delivery. It's not the same. How can I share that in a way that an online student can hear? Because my experience with online classes is that you tend to, I don't know whether you've gotten burned, or I don't really know what the setting is, but you tend to be more critically concerned about doing it right And I'm more critically concerned about you learning the process, demonstrating growth in the process, and showing me what you learned. I know how to do that face-to-face, and I think I do that well. It's not the same in an online environment, and so I'm just going to ask a question this week. Do you have suggestions for me in a way that for you as an online student would be helpful to hear from me? How could I communicate that best in an arena where we don't have face-to-face contact? I can use video, but anybody can say anything, right? We don't have that ongoing contact with one another. So that's your first assignment for the week. You have anything to offer me that would make the experience better for my online students? I want to be the best online instructor. And I know, grading more promptly. You're right. We did an extra complicated musical this fall here on campus, and it has slowed me down. Agreed. Beyond that, how can I create an environment for many of you who talked about social anxiety? How can I help feed that in a positive way? I think I do that well when we're all in the same classroom, but I'm not sure what the keys are in an online environment, and I'm open to those ideas. So that's the first suggestion, the first assignment for the week. And then there will be reading this week as we get ready for the final at the end of next week. All right. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.